so UG. It's in the way I talk, I'm so UG. From my head to my feet, so UG. What you get is what you see, I'm so UG. It's in the way I walk, I'm so UG. It's in the way I talk, I'm so UG. From my head to my feet, so UG. What you get is what you see, so UG. I'm so UG. Are you from UG?
We have started.
Yo. Welcome to another episode of the So UG podcast. My name is the Myth, Mr. So UG, and I am excited. To have this gentleman who I'm with today with me. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how to introduce him. I'll just say we have Saba Saba in the building. Brother!
Hey, what's up? Krazy Native, aka Saba Saba, from Bataka Underground.
Yo. Dude, what's up, man? How are you?
Man, I'm good.
It's been a while. Welcome back for however long you are in town for.
Hey, I'm here. I know I've been missing on a lot of different things.
I know. I had to.
And it's intentional.
When we had the conversation and you said,
yeah,
I'm going to be in town, I was like, yeah, right. Then you were like, no, I'm going to be in town. I was like,
yeah.
I hear this all the time.
Yeah.
Then you pulled up, I was like, oh, I have to get you on the pod before you disappear.
And I was going to cancel.
I know.
I was going to cancel.
We're going to fight.
Because there's something people don't know.
Uh-huh.
I reached a time, I've gone through a lot in my career to a point that I would have done anything to be who I am.
Yeah.
I would have rode on anybody to be who I am. But I chose to stay in the spot that I want. And I don't want to ride over anybody's career. So I didn't want to ride over anybody's talent. So I said, I'm going to write this thing by myself.
Okay.
And if you notice, everything I've done by myself.
Yeah.
But the reason when I choose to be like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything with nobody.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take any interview because I did so much for hip-hop you don't even know. And I never got the same respect back.
No, well, let's talk about it.
I just stopped.
But
I kept doing music. I kept doing, but you never saw me again in the media again.
Yeah. This industry is tricky because, I mean, we were talking off camera. I don't know if it's a thing that we did where we were so happy talking to the people that rocked with us. Yeah. We didn't really care about media and whatnot. Now there are these avenues like this podcast. For me, the reason I did it was because, man, there's so much about Ugandan hip-hop that people don't know.
A lot.
And I feel like, hey, we have to be the ones to tell these stories.
That's very true.
Right? We have to be the ones to tell these stories. And you and I have been talking throughout the years. And it's like, but tell me, before we get there, how does Krazy Native Saba Saba start rap? How does that begin for you?
What was the journey like? I'm an old soul. Yeah. Yeah, I'm an old soul. You're gonna be old soul or old man? Old man. I'm an old man. I hate saying how old I am because I don't want you to disrespect my grind. I'm still gonna get on the microphone and do what I got to do. But I'm gonna be 47 next year.
Yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 47 next year. The reason I call myself Saba Saba, I was raised in the Idi Amin regime when the Saba Saba was going off in 1979. My mother had me on her back because I'm the firstborn in my family. So I know it feels like I know that situation. So when it goes to everything I do, it goes from the time I was born in 1977 to where I am today, to a point that my album is called Kappa Coffee with Idi Amin. Idi Amin is the regime. Kappa Coffee is my story. So that's what happened with that album because it's too much to it. And I'm sort of like a storyteller, so I just don't want to release something. I've been doing Kappa Coffee for over 9 years. It's never come out, but a lot of songs are out that are all part of that album because everything I write coordinates to that album. So that's where my history starts. But I was raised in Ginger, and I was a b-boy before I even started rapping.
What?
I watched Wild Styles. That was like the first thing that introduced me to hip hop. I don't know if you've watched Wild Styles, the breakdance movie.
Yeah, I think I have. Like,
so my father didn't even know. My mother didn't know exactly. Electric Boogaloo and all that shit. And the first person that inspired me in Uganda was the DJ Berry. I went and watched DJ Berry. There was a show. It was DJ Berry and Afrigo performing. And DJ Berry was a DJ, and at the same time he came and performed. And I watched DJ Berry. I want to be that.
What?
I want to be that.
With a Frigo.
He was performing by himself, but there was a Frigo and there was a lot of other artists then, from Jimmy Katumba to everybody. Wow. And I was really young. Yeah. I was really young, but my father used to take me to these shows, and I started going to events that DJ Berry was DJing or performing. So that's how I came about. So by the time I joined, I think that's between the time I joined Kasasa secondary school in Masaka, and that's the same time I was getting into hip hop. Then when I get to Kasasa, I get again introduced to more hip hop when I meet MC Ep3, because he was our head boy. He was the head prefect in Kasasa, and he was a rapper. So yeah, he
was like the rapper.
He was like the rapper, and he was the head prefect in the school. Crazy. And then on top of that, I'm a lyrical G, and we in the same school, and we out here rapping. God. And on top of that, Ragadi was in Saint Chitovu. I think it must be Saint Matovu or Chitovu, whereby they used to come to our school in Kasasa because the schools were close to each other, and there was always performances. And the other guy I remember was Kazora. Kazora was a Lingala dancer. We were in the same school too. Kazora was a Lingala dancer. He was the best Lingala dancer at moving that waist. Yes, Kazora, tell the people who you are. He used to do Lingala. He was one of the best dancers. Anytime there's a dancing competition, Kazora is being called, and he's like, hey. Yeah, that's Kazora. So Kazora, Lyrical G, MC Ep3, we were all in the same school. Emperor Orlando came through, I think he was there for a few years or something. He must have, Emperor Orlando too.
This school, it's like...
This is Kasasa Secondary School.
That's like, like how they talk about the Big and Jay and Buster being in the same school.
It's so weird. I was thinking about it when I was coming here. I'm like, there's a lot of history just to Kasasa itself.
That's crazy.
Than most people know.
Was Ragadi, because Ragadi was in and out of raga and rap.
Yeah, he started with rapping first.
Oh wow.
He used to he was a fast rapper, and if you notice, he has those patterns.
Yes, 100%.
It all originates from hip hop, and when me and him meet, we actually don't talk like what he did, because we know each other. So whenever if you notice, if you check my videos, he's always he comes and he's rapping, because we know. That's how I know Ragadi.
That's crazy.
I would know him as a hip hop artist, but though maybe that's not what he classified himself. But because anytime you're doing wordplay, to me it sounds like you're doing hip. It's still hip hop, though we don't call it hip hop.
And to be honest, the chatting, which is like what the Jamaicans
exactly
do, kind of like birthed.
No, because look at it this way. When you wanted to get married, maybe even in Ankole or even in Baganda tribe, if you want to take a certain woman, they would make you chant, and you have to say the most amazing things about that woman. So you have to have these bisoko that are really strong, like you just keep going. So this is a tradition that has been going on for so many years all over Africa, whereby we use wordplay and poetry to win somebody. So winning somebody's woman. You had to do these things. So when I'm talking when I went to America and I'm talking hip hop, I tell them hip hop started in Africa.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it did.
Yeah.
It just
they commercialized.
It just commercialized and it went over there and they put it into their feelings and they went jazz and everything and then they brought it back. But I would say hip hop has always been here. People say we are trying to be like Americans. No, we're African. We've been here. We've been doing this. We still do all this. We still do the same things we used to do, but it's just different, different lingo. Yeah. That's how I look at it.
No, it's crazy. When this history of yours, there's also the history of your family.
Yeah.
Like in your family, you have obviously Vampino.
Yeah.
You have Maurice Kyria. You have Alex. Is he also in music?
Who, Alex?
The younger brother.
Alex?
Oh no, sorry.
That's me. No, Leonard is not, but he's a creative genius.
Yes.
He can do a lot of things. From anything that is creative, he will do. Most of Maurice Kyria's shows, he was part of it. So he's still a very he's still genius in a lot of things. He just doesn't want to put it out there. Yeah.
But so like your family, like what was the family life like? Because like having that was did you grow up around music? You're talking about ginger, but you just dip and then.
Yeah, so it's history. I'm actually doing a documentary, not focused on me, but focused on how I was brought up and with a lot of different things. Again, the same album, Kappa Coffee. It's like my that's my thesis. That's like my thesis. So everything I do is actually engraved in that, from a play to everything. Cause I always go back and look at my life, and I'm like, this album can come out, because I still have a lot I want to say. Yeah, pieces that I can. Cause I remember, I grew up in Ginger. I left Ginger and came to the city, and we stayed.
What was the life like? The life like in Ginger, like.
We were really young. The life I remember when I was a little bit grown up, like, it's funny. P1, P7, and everything. Like from P1 to P7, when I was at Kaboja, every time I left school and came home, it's funny. I still was already engraved in music. I lived. You see Ginger Road? I lived close to. What's that place? Spear Motors. You see where Spear Motors is? So we used to live on those flats. Right now they're different kind of buildings. We lived right there. So when the war of 1986 happened, I remember all that. Yeah. When Tito Kedo was being overthrown, I remember looking in my window, seeing everything, soldiers walking and all the chaos, and you could hear bullets everywhere. And then Obote was overthrown and Tito Kedo came through. That's 1986. I remember that. I remember that whole incident. And every building in Kampala, from Ginger Road all the way down to Uganda House and all the way down, I walked in every building as a child. Because we moved from Ginger Road and moved to Uganda House. We lived around Uganda House. There's a flat right there. I don't know what they call it right now. We used to live on that flat, and I think it was Vampino, must have been Vampino, who came off a balcony and just fell all the way down to the ground. Yeah, that kid is crazy. Must have been, it's Vampino. He literally, he must be Vampino. He literally climbed on a balcony and fell all the way down. And he wasn't hurt. And then on that same Ginger Road, it's again Vampino. He got knocked by a car. His shoes off and everything. It must be Vampino. It has to be Vampino. He got knocked right there.
It's on brand.
And me, I was knocked by a car on Christ the King.
What were you guys doing in the road? Why
Because
the roads?
my school started in Shimoni.
Yes.
So I was in Shimoni before I went to Kaboja. So my father couldn't take it anymore because we were really crazy kids. Yes. So me and my young sister, we went to Shimoni Primary School. And Shimoni, that's a different story.
Chameleon, right?
I didn't know that.
I think Lyrica was telling me something.
Really? I didn't know that. But I was at Shimoni and messing with the kids from Buganda Road.
Oh no, he was in Buganda Road.
He must have been Buganda Road, yeah. So I hated kids from Buganda Road because they look cool. They thought they looked cool. Yeah, so from Shimoni,
School violence.
Yeah, school violence. So we used to walk all over the city. That's all we did. So I know the city way well. And there's a lot of just history within the city. And I used to go to, it's called, there used to be a cinema close to...
Cinema.
Is it audio? It's close to Shimoni. No. On Shimoni, right on Christ the King. If you go a little up, there used to be a cinema where we used to go watch movies. I used to go there and watch movies. I remember.
You guys are older than me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I forget what the place is called. I'll have to remember all that stuff. So that's my childhood. So my childhood was loving my city.
Was chaotic. Yeah,
chaotic and
about that the hip hop. The impact, like how what Pulsations was for Ugandan hip hop. What was that?
I think it was a lot.
Yeah.
Pulsation was a lot for Ugandan hip hop. Yeah. This is the only time we got to listen to a lot of hip hop. If you wanted to hear new songs, that's the place to be. So the first time I had Juicy by Biggie was at I think Clouds and Pulsation. Yeah, so Pulsation was like it's like an underground club where you can go and listen to hip hop. We Ugandans, we don't have TV, cable, or anything showing any hip hop videos. MTV by then was just also beginning. So yeah, MTV Base came later. So Pulsation was the place where we could listen to this. And there was a place on Uganda House. I don't remember the guy's name, but the only place you could get hip hop music, where we used to buy the cassettes, you had to go to Uganda House and buy the tapes. I don't. It must have been like 2,000 shillings. Yeah. And that's the only place you could find hip hop tapes. So, yeah. So all my hip hop tapes came from
that place.
There was a music store in Uganda House. In opposite Uganda House, Diamond Trust. So Diamond Trust is where you could buy hip hop music. Yeah.
For us, it's like it's crazy because when we get in, it's you have context.
Context came later. Yeah.
Sharp, you have downtown.
Yeah. there was Context and Container. Yeah.
Container. There was Sharp Sounds.
So Container was after, because Diamond Trust was the place where you get an original cassette.
Okay. And these guys were like pirating.
And my first cassette I ever bought from Diamond Trust, they had a real music store in there with a lot of cassettes. It was. I don't know what happened to it.
Because it even stayed there even during the whole context.
Did it?
It stayed there, yes.
I think, but before it had a lot, they used to have like cassettes everywhere.
Yes.
And the first album I bought from there was LL Cool J's "Mama Said Knock You Out," where he had a tiger on it. Yeah, that was like my first album, like I actually invested in and bought. Yeah, that was.
So how did you start recording? How does?
Recording comes a little bit later. We were still doing ciphers. We were still rapping, and I would say Babaluku.
Had you guys? Was it a group or was it?
We was a group, but we were not like we had no name yet, but we were all rapping in Makindye, and Babaluku was the cool cat because he was coming from Canada. He was born here, then he went to Canada. But Babaluku was more lyrical because he had the Canadian and American, all that influence, glued to the T. So we used to go to Makindye because he had a spot at the church in Makindye, his father's church, and we used to actually rap in that small cubicle. Me, Baba, NTO, who used to be a rapper as well, and a few other guys. Yeah, we used to go in there and just go off, and Baba could rap his ass off. Like he was rapping all the time. So that's what we used to go and just
record.
No, not record.
Or just to rap.
We just rapping. Like I leave Najina Kumi and come to Makindye we just rapping. That's how much we love. The recording comes later. So Baba moves back to Canada, and we here. So that's when we started recording. And also Baba, even if he's not on October, our first single, he was also involved with the song as well, as in the writing and everything. So because we were already trying to do these songs already, but it just so happened that he traveled, and it was me, a Lyrical G, and Momo MC that recorded October. Yeah, and that was that was at Kasukila.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that was at Kasukila. So my mom paid for the studio time.
How much was the studio session?
I think it was expensive. It must have been about 200,000.
Okay.
If not even more. And I don't know where the guy is. I forget his name. The guy that recorded us, because we wanted Tim to record us, because Tim was the biggest producer in Kasukila.
Which Tim?
Tim is called Tim. I forget his other name. He moved to the U.S. And Tim was so proud of himself. He's like, nah, man, I can't record. I don't know what you guys are doing. I can't record you. And Tim was the one recording Paulo Cafedo and all those other artists. So we got the recording from Kenneth. So whoever knows Kenneth's last name can remember that. I really want to see that guy. He gave us a chance. We paid. They gave us a receipt. My mom gave me the money. And yeah, we recorded Atoba, Banaba Nabakaye, Atoba, Banaba Nabakaye. And when I recorded that song, I rap in English. I rap in English.
We're gonna have some words.
I rap. I did English and Luganda.
Yeah.
I was doing both. Because before Krazy Native, I was called Kyria G. Then from Kyria G, I think I went. Was it me? No, that was I'll have to go back to that. Krazy Native, and before I had a few names, but Krazy Native stood out. So if you look at all the patterns, Krazy Native, Omutaka, Bataka. You see the patterns? Because Krazy Native is a native.
Yes.
So the only way the name was going to be Bataka, because Bataka means native. So that's how the name came about. And
That's crazy.
I think the first person I told about the name, I'm like, yo, we're going to call ourselves Bataka. Then I'm like, you know what? Let's cut the A. Let's call ourselves Bataka, because it looks more like, in your face. I told Lyrical, and I also told Chaga about it. Chaga was now in the group, so Chaga joined later.
Chaga was also a rapper.
Chaga
was a rapper.
Chaga is one of the best lyricists
That's very true.
that I know. So when, cause remember, I'm not a Muganda, I'm a Mugwere.
Yes.
First of all, but
and
I
that's the thing
grew
people
up
don't
in
know about you guys, because your brothers who are mad popular.
Yeah.
It's all Uganda.
It's all Uganda.
But then you guys are Bagwere.
But we're Bagwere, and the only person that started Luganda was Morris.
Yes.
That's what you see when you listen to his lyrics in Luganda. It's on point, because I've never written anything in Luganda. As in, I've never went to school for Luganda. I've never done anything Luganda.
But here you're yelling at
and I don't even... and even if you listen, I don't have Bisoko. I don't know when I listen to Sn2, they be saying some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. And I never grew up in that, because I grew up in Kampala, and I was like not like you guys, the plant kids, but I was, so I wouldn't say that I was Muganda. I was just a lyricist that loved hip-hop so much, and I came from rapping in English, and I transitioned to doing it in Luganda. And when it comes to Baba was already
in English.
Fun. It was in English, but he's a Muganda, so he knows how he can pattern. So if you listen to me, it's a little bit different, but I'll still deliver the same way he would deliver. So the way he writes different, I write different. So that's how we connected actually properly when it came to writing.
I think it's the dopest thing about like groups. The best thing with groups is finding the one who. Yeah. I think that's the clear-cut situation, right? We're 5 rappers, 4 in English, right? But with each one, there's something.
There's something that is different.
Like you rock with this guy because it's more stylistic, more lyrical, more animated. And I think that's the dopest thing about groups. But
so we mastered the art of hip hop. Yeah. I was so much into hip hop that I would do anything to get in. And remember the Mwenabalungi namwe abangi mujemba jaguze kuba fetuze nga tumazeko nga tulazeyo tuyise. Now guess what? All these memories are just coming back. Baba was part of that writing for that. That was his Baba is the way he framed some words, and I added. So that was Baba and me on that song. So that's why when I say Atoba has only me, it has Baba in it too, because we in there. He was, because we were together when we're doing all this, and hey, if I forget something, man, remind me, because I'm forgetting a lot of things. It's been a minute.
You're teaching me.
It's been a minute. I don't. So Mwenaba Lungi namwe abangi mujaguze ko bafetuze nga tumazeko nga tulazeyo ekyo kituliko bawereza basembezanga wetu baza ku mutindo gw'omulembe omupya. So that was Baba was part of that, writing that song. That was part of Baba, and then Momo MC, he had a nice verse too. So Momo comes on and kills it. English, we're doing smooth. English and very smooth. And
you guys were like aggressive. Momo was like heavy D.
Momo was like a heavy D kind, and then Lyrical comes in with his English. He was a West Coast guy. The guy loved English so much. You all know the click. Man, I don't remember this. Man, that guy with English. Lyrical, you should stop. You should stop, please. That's why when you guys had Lyrical here, I had to watch that interview and see what he's missing. And he was missing out on a lot of things. He couldn't even remember his verse, I think.
No, he couldn't.
Y'all know the click. He killed it. He just kept going. He just kept going. And I admire that brother. I love my brother, Lyrical. Man, Fuck that.
10 albums.
Fuck that lyrical. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, lyrical.
You've been recording one album for 9 years.
Hey, no, but in that one album, there's more than 5. If the day I decide, you will see.
We shall wait.
And I respect lyrical. Yeah. So he killed. So it was English, Luganda, and And my verse in English, I'm trying to remember. It was so funny. Yeah, it was so funny. I'm trying to remember. I quoted Papa Wemba in my music because my history, when you talk about hip hop, some of Papa Wemba moved me a lot.
Yeah.
I love Papa Wemba. Yeah. Show me the way like Papa Wemba. We all getting harder. So that's how we began and we recorded October, and we tried to go to a lot of. So this is where everything starts, whereby we trying to show what we got. Nobody understood what we were doing. The radio stations that thought they were hip, they never understood us. They refused to play our music. Sn2 refused to play our music. Capital refused to play our music. Every radio refused to play our music. And that shit is emotional to me because we were putting in a lot of work. And when you come to our events, we actually have a lot of people coming to see us. But radio stations refuse to play us. Man, that shit gets emotional. And I forget the guy's name. And the only radio station that started playing us. So when I listened to the interviews, Lyrical just said Power FM or something or whatever, Hot 100. I don't know what radio he said. That was later. We didn't. That was not our first radio. The first radio that played October was the radio was in Uganda TV. They had a radio station.
Which is now Magic, I believe.
I don't know what, but there was a guy. Radio Uganda, yes. Radio Uganda, they had a program. I forget the guy's name. He's just so, I don't want to leave anything out. He should be put in there somewhere because anytime anybody released the hip-hop album, that's the only radio station that we could go to because all the mainstream radios, they never played anything hip-hop. They maybe were not hip enough for them. They never really, they didn't like Luganda. And this is funny. I remember very well, this is later on. And somebody told me to never make. I don't want to mention names, but I went to radio station and they say that kind of music will never sell.
I think I know who. And I know.
I don't want to mention. I don't want to say names. I'll say okay, it was Sn2, and they said that music will never sell. Rapping in Luganda, nobody's gonna listen to that. So we got a lot of, and I think that inspired Tuja Babia. Yes. So the inspiration of Tuja Babia was me saying, I'm going to blow up any fucking radio.
Before we get to Tuja Babia.
That's what inspired Tuja Babia. Yeah, because that's why I wear this brand, because this is when I became an animal. I'm like, fuck it. It's a long story. We tried
before
everything.
We get there, so there's Atoba, then there's
Sesetula.
Yeah,
so Sesetula comes later.
Who's producing this and recording?
We went to this guy on the old park. There's a big building right there. I don't know if the building is still there. It must have broken it down. Yeah. There was a building right there on Old Park. There was a guy who had a studio upstairs. Yeah. So I don't know how we found him. I got the studio, and this guy had a weird ass keyboard, and all the keys were broken. Like the keys were, and he's like, "Yo, we want a hip hop beat." He didn't even know how to do hip hop. We just told him how we wanted it. Yeah. And I'm like, we need to have something African in there, and it needs to be a little bit da 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 da. And he's like, so he put in the Madinda, like the xylophone. Se tula bataka bagulire bayingire se sembeza abajamu bagulire batulage awo. And we just then that's when Chaga, because me and Chaga have been rapping. Yeah. So this is when Chaga, before that, after October, me and Chaga used to walk from Najanankumbi to Rubaga to record at Hope Mukasa, and still we were not getting the recording. Nobody was giving us a chance, and we wait at the gate, and we were not getting the opportunity. And we had a lot of music we wanted to do. We had a lot. We were really hungry. Yeah. We literally walk. Even this time, me and Chaga went and stole some spare parts and sold them from someone just to go record a song. We literally got some spare parts because there's a place when you walk from Najinakumi to Rubaga, there used to be some mechanic places. We were literally hauling this I don't know what it was, a jack or something, and we were like trying to sell it so we can get some money so we can get to record at Bava Studios. It's a lot of and when they still didn't let us in and the money wasn't enough, they're like, you guys need more money. And I think he didn't trust the way we looked, like, hey, you guys all look like you got the money. And we look at Hope Moka, so we used to go there and just look at the house. You know, it was that way. It looked beautiful. It was like one of the posh houses back then. And we used to dream.
That's where we started.
I know. And we used we were there and we just look at the place. This is when before you guys recorded. We used to be like, man, I wish you can give us one chance. And then we have to walk back.
Yeah,
Without recording back. And we did that not once, every day. We used to do that walk, me, Chaga, and Larat.
Larat, yeah.
That's some person. Now, Larat, when it comes to Bataka, I think it was one of the most hardest lyricists.
Yeah.
So when we were out there battling, it was me, Larat. Lyrical was in school, and Lyrical could come every time on a holiday and joins us. But me, I had a lot of time on my hand. So I never.
Guys were angry.
Yeah, we were angry. So anywhere where there was hip hop or anywhere where there was music, and it wasn't hip hop, we used to go to Chidandali places and we kill it. So the first place that I went to, I think, was Texas. So Texas was, I think, one of the first places where we saw a lot of artists.
I've never heard of
You know where Texas is? Right by the park again. It's a big building. You go upstairs all the way up. The first time I'm seeing Chameleon come on stage was at Texas.
Yeah.
But when he used to sing at Texas, he wasn't singing his music.
Yeah,
He was rapping. He was doing that Buju Banton and all that stuff. Yeah, so the first time I'm seeing Baby Cool was at Texas. He had this weird hat that he used to wear, and it said Bebe. It said Bebe. And he used to wear a lot of shorts with longer socks up here. He was a weird guy, but with his hair like this.
Bebe was branded.
He was, but
Bebe was
he was branding himself from the get go.
everyone.
Every time he entered through Texas,
You
knew it was him.
He
and
branded himself,
then when Chameleon came through, you're like, who's this guy?
Because Chameleon also had people with him. And whatnot.
Chameleon was, and then there was Mad Lion, Mad Tiger, Compias. There was a big. Then the V-Boyo, what's up? Then there was V-Boyo in the group called The Squad. Yeah, there was a lot of artists rapping there, like everybody, and The Squad was.
I think the boy used to come there with Kid Fox.
He used to come with There's Kid Fox. It was a lot of us. So that's that before DVA. That was the first spot where everybody that was doing what they're doing. This was the spot that we got, whereby we can all meet on one umbrella.
Yeah.
Straka was also there. He was a rapper. Rest in peace to MC Light. So MC Light was rapping there too. MC Light died, yeah. You know MC Light, the one I'm talking about?
MC Light, yeah.
You remember MC Light?
Yeah.
Yeah, MC Light passed some years ago. I think it's almost 10 years or something. So MC Light used to rap with Straka. They were a team. They used to rap together before Straka became who he is. But they used to sing together. So it was MC Light. And it's a lot of artists, you know. It was a lot of artists. And because my memory, I'm just remembering a few people here and there. Yeah, ting, everything is just ringing. So my mother, that's why I respect to my mom and rest in peace. She used to give us that opportunity to get at the house. And she knew I was young. She was scared of me coming back home late.
Yeah.
But yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah, man. Oh shit.
It would take time.
Shit, man. No. It's a lot of musicians that have passed through all that.
Yeah.
The thing about me is I get very emotional with I get very emotional with music. And everything I put my time in and stuff. So, excuse me if I lose my folks. And I never forget. I never forget my struggle. That's when you see me, I be quiet. Because we put a lot of time in this shit. And sometimes you just want to just, when you see me stop and you don't see me anywhere, because I've done a lot for just being who I am, but I've never seen me doing my music except outside of Uganda. So I don't care if they talk about Bataka and my name doesn't come up. I like it that way. Because I've done a lot for hip hop and just music in general. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the art. And people don't know this, but I'm a very strong fan. Those who know who I am and where I come from and stuff. And sometimes I just pause and be like, I did a lot for this shit.
Yeah.
I don't even give a fuck. But I keep recording. But what I'm saying that is we put a lot in and we never got a chance to be showcased.
Yeah.
It's funny that now I'm almost going forward before we talk about all the history. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot just within the music. So when I'm out here, sometimes I don't want to be on anything because I
suffered for 2 weeks to try and get you on.
Yeah, I did too much for me to be in places to a point where I just gave up. But I didn't give up on the music. I kept writing and doing what I do. I just lost focus of certain things because certain memories came out. But we've lost a lot of folks that are a part of this and they're not here anymore. MC A Freak. DJ Barry. No, DJ Barry wasn't really part of my. He inspired me, but he wasn't part of my my drive for the music. But something knocked me, and I just didn't want to talk about it. But there was there's a lot. There was a rapper called Richie Ruggs. I don't know if anybody remembers who Richie Ruggs is. He was also a rapper as well. And Richie, all those things hit me, but those largest later. But Richie Ruggs was one of the first commercial rappers that we had in Uganda. I don't know if you knew who Richie Ruggs is.
No,
yeah, Richie Ruggs was the Ugandan rapper. I think it was the first rapper that I saw get a big post in the papers of New Vision, and he was one of the first rappers that got a lot of press because of how he marketed himself. Yeah. There was some things that were coming that I was gonna say, and I just paused and I just broke down because that got emotional. I'm very emotional with my art. That's why I just don't want to put it out there. I don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything. But sometimes I just leave it because I love the art form.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost my focus right there.
No, don't worry, man.
Yeah.
But let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Let me. Tujababia and Wansiwakulu. Which one came first for you? Was it Tujababia?
It was Tujababia. Tujababia came first, and
that was your
So Tujababia was that was a message to the radio stations. That was my message to the TV stations that didn't want to give us a shine. We couldn't even get post in the papers. Nothing. Like there's some journalists who used to put us in the papers, but we used to get something small. We did the best we could as Bataka as a group. We were doing a lot, but we never got the shine. I won't lie, I never listened to any song of mine until 2005 or 2002 or 2003. That's the first time they played us on radio, and I'm talking from 1994.
What?
Yeah, I won't lie. We never had. Nobody really gave us a chance. Although Tujababia, October was in the streets. People heard the music because we used to perform the music. But getting radio play, we got radio play in 2003. And the song was, I think, 2007, 2006. Nobody cared. That song took a while, years for it to get the actual play it needs.
Tujababia, I think
Tujababia came later.
Yeah, but I think the community that was being built with hip hop acts like you say how you said Texas, sections, then eventually became DV8.
DV8.
Us using that same CD. We have track number 16
exactly.
and 40.
Yeah. So my music actually, Atoba and Sesetula were on that tape.
Wow.
Yeah, those were on that tape. They were not on CD, so we had to transfer from that tape to CD, and that since we were broke, we don't have money. That took a long time just to get somebody who can transfer all that.
Also, availability of that technology.
That wasn't there. So
easy.
we had tapes, and we could give out tapes, and again, nobody was caring about what we were doing. They thought it wasn't gonna make it. But I saw the future. I knew what it was going to be. And I'm like, yo, let's stick on this wordplay. This shit is going to go. It's going to take us far. And we used to do shows. And there's a place called Marvin's.
Yeah, Marvin's. I've never...
You never heard of it. The place was in Natete. So to me, Marvin was like, what's the hardest place where people go and battle hard? Like,
no.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't know if that shit's there. So Marvin to me was a place that opened my eyes up, because it was... This is where you find the Mad Tigers, the Compiers. It was mostly those ragamuffin and a lot of it was they were singing in Uganda, but it was different. So me, Larat, we used to go over there and rap our asses off. And every time we stepped in, they knew we were here. And we were like, they used to think we're from Uptown, but when we come there, we were rapping in Uganda. Larat was. Larat had the hardest verses. Oh my God!
There was like there's a tape that was floating around.
Yeah.
Where Larat is dissing me, and I'm like, where have you?
No, because he Larat. I don't know why he stopped. Larat was an actual rapper. I'm trying to today.
You listen to like track 2, 3. I'm like,
on Sesetla, he said today silani kubagana bisilani tombolera majani nsumula ntani kasagala sate gede atente sawuli day msembere mbabuli bataka bagudewo kano kastalo kapyaga kondeko. Yeah, that was Larat.
Yeah, that's good.
Larat was bad, and we had this song that made us famous. It was Bana Beka mujaguze nnyo bataka baba no babagamba muchamuke. Hey, muchamuke bataka baba no babagamba mujaguze. Bana Beka mujaguze nnyo bataka baba no babagamba muchamuke. Hey. We had a few songs that were, when we went like to places like Marvin, mostly in places where it's really like only the ghetto guys are performing over there. So we used to kill them with that. We had a lot of songs. We had that one, and all these songs we used to perform them on stages, but we never actually recorded them.
But Tujabayo was still there. Like,
so Tujabayo was produced by. Oh, that's a different story. So Tujabayo was produced by. Damn, am I forgetting the name? You know the guy, MMC.
Get out. Was it? Yeah. Of course it's MMC.
It's MMC. MMC produced to Jabari.
Yes, of course it's
That was MMC.
And that snare has to be MMC.
So I was connected to MMC. I don't remember who connected me.
Probably Peter. Rest in peace.
It must have been because Peter came
Peter
to.
used to walk to people and just say, hey, man,
so Peter came to saw us performing sometime, and Peter's like, "Yo, man, I like what you're doing. I'm a rapper too," and he's rapping to me. I'm like, man, to hell with that English stuff, man. But I wasn't a hater, but I was like, hey, and he had the funniest rhymes, man. Peter had the funniest rhymes. Man, I missed that brother. So that's another story for his own. Me and Peter used to walk a lot.
Yeah.
We used to do a lot of things together because he was uptown, so he knew all the ringos and everything, because they used to live close to where those apartments are, the Speak apartments. They used to live around that area in the corner there. They lived in the city.
Yeah.
So I used to do a lot of things with P-Tech. Then he connected me to MMC, and MMC had his studio, and MMC had a lot of artists in there. There was a lot of rappers in there. You need to talk to MMC. Will give you everything. I did a lot of songs with the MMC to this day. Some of them have never come out. I recorded with DJ Awadi with MMC. Yes. Recorded with all the Senegalese rappers, and I did a lot of stuff with DJ Awadi. No, we did a whole album with DJ Awadi for the president, whatever.
Yeah, the president thing.
Yeah, the president thing. But somehow my song that I did with him never went on the album. I don't know.
I know why you have beef with us.
Yeah, I have beef with everyone. You just made it, so I don't know. Because I don't know, maybe we were too hard for the thing. I don't know, something's going and I don't know what happened. So you see how when I get emotional with my shit, because we be out here doing everything we do, we killing it. You know, we doing all this, we're putting a lot of time, and we still don't get the shine. And guess what? To this day, I never get a shine. But guess what? My fruits just keep delivering. You know, so yeah. So yeah, then I did Tuja Babia, and Tuja Babia was just.
Tuja Babia was like a moment.
It was like a moment for me because I was hungry, and I wrote that song with a lot of so the way I'm writing again goes back to my history from the get go. I was already on that same bridge. I was on that bridge of writing different. If you hear it, I'm talking about the wars in. I'm coming in like the wars in '86. So nga bwensuubira okulunga kantukire ku ensonga gye bagambe kwatako mu abasinga ndi kubapenga batulemesa okupanga newunya takuliko nekyabeera akulanga ndaba ekisinga ekyokola kweyunga. I'm talking about unity. I'm talking about like I'm coming like the Saba Saba. I'm already here, and I'm talking about the war in '86. I'm talking about all these different things. So I came hard on that song. And
that beat, the way
the beat switches out completely, and then it scratches and stuff. So how did Tuja Babia the word? Yeah, the word came up because I was like Tuja Babia, and then it just went like I'm like I love cutting words. The way I write things, I love to cut words. So I didn't say it. I just cut it from Tuja Babia to Tuja Babia the way it is, but it was supposed to be a different Tuja Babia Twakatani. So when I say Twakatani Sawatenga Sawa Yeyo, I'm talking about we've been doing this. We already 10 years deep. We've been doing this, and we're still here and we're going nowhere. Yeah. So that was the whole thing. I'm like, Twakatani Sawatenga Sawa Yeyo. It's about time you guys give us a chance. And again, I went back again. Me and Momo cried actually when we went to Sn2 again, and they couldn't play that song. Yeah. They had no radio could play us. And I'm like, this is hot. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, this is hot. They're like, it's not. We don't play that kind of music here. So I forget the DJ's name.
I know who. We know who.
I know.
We had an episode where someone talks about it.
I know that DJ, but also all of them. I can take the whole industry down. They knew we were out here. They used to come to the shows we're doing, and they be like, "You guys are doing good," including all the only person who gave us a chance was Collins. I see him can you believe he could have us on the TV? He could interview us and do all this stuff, but the music playing, no. But WBS did a lot for us. They gave us a chance.
Yeah,
they
interviewed us for. Right before our show.
Sabrina's,
they interviewed us.
So WBS did a lot. They used to give us that opportunity. Since he was the MC at DV8, so they used to give us a chance. So that's when DV8 comes in, and we go to DV8, and we were killing everybody.
With Tuja Babia, you made it like a movement. You had the merch. You had like that was like deliberate. Like you were trying to say,
I was trying to say something, and I'm still saying something. Yes, this is Tuja Babia brand because it birthed me.
One of my favorite songs is Wansiwa Guru. And that video. Like what was happening? Because I wasn't here.
Actually, let's go back to.
So when I come back into town, I'm just seeing this video and I'm like, what is this? And it's on TV. I won't forget that.
Everything is connected. Let me go back to Tuja Babia. So we plan to shoot the video for Tuja Babia, and this is years later because an American came into the city, and he was supposed to be doing something in northern Uganda. He's called Brett Tadai, and then he comes to that's way. So let me rewind again a little bit. So me and Peter connect. I connect with MMC. So me, P-Tech, Sn2, Jeff Ecopet, who is working with Uma as their correspondent with the copyright stuff, and Francis Agaba,
who's also
so I actually came up with the idea. I must have been in Entebbe, and I was with we were at a coffee shop, me and Sn2, and I'm like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. We need to come up with an organization that can hold or hip hop artists in one element. Then that's when I added Ecopete, because Ecopete was Jeff was really good with the good with the typing and stuff, making things happen with the flyers and stuff. That's how me and him met, because he was good with Photoshop and everything. Then Francis was also good with technology, and he knew how to make things work. So that's how me, Sn2, Francis, and Ecopete founded the Ugandan Hip-hop Foundation. And I went to Hope Mukasa, and I asked him, Deviate was dying. So when Deviate was dying, Bataka had already made his mark. So we had to go to the next level. So I asked Hope Mukasa if we could use his spot. Sabrina's. And Hope Mukasa is like, I only do Saturdays. And I'm like, what's your worst night? And Hope Mukasa said, my worst nights are every other night. And then he's like, if you can, because he does Friday and Saturday, those were his biggest nights. Then these are the days people just come and drink, pass down a lot of people. I'm like, give me the worst days. Like, if you can do it on a Tuesday and you have 100 people, I'll give you the spot. So he gave us a Tuesday night at Sabrina's. And I talked to him today on Friday. He's like, if you can fill up that place on a Tuesday night, I'll give you the spot. Tuesday came, we had over 200 people. And that's where the power of hip hop started. And every rapper, though they never say anything about the hip hop summit, the hip hop nights at Sabrina's, every rapper, I'd say everybody, nobody mentions it. I saw everybody there. Before Deviate, everybody else, I saw everybody came to hip hop night. But you never hear any rapper talk about it. You never hear any rapper say, I started here. I know everybody that started at Sabrina's. I know everybody that started at Sabrina's. So that was mine. That was my entity of me trying to put everything, like bring everybody together. So that was my spot where I was like, this is a place where we can all be. And now this was only hip hop to a point that
also easily accessible.
Exactly,
right
there. And the funny thing is, when we did that, DVA died because we took everybody.
Yeah.
We took. You remember that time?
Yeah.
We took everybody.
So for me, I left when DV8 was.
Yeah, it was.
Then I come back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, and everyone's like, no,
there's a new spot.
Yeah,
so
I came.
Everybody.
The first time I came, you wanted me to rap, and I was like, bro,
hey.
I don't even know the scene yet.
Exactly.
To watch.
Yep. So the DV8 started being down the lead. And everything started changing there, and that's another story for another time, because there's a story there. Chameleon. Whoa. So after DV8 and again DV8, so me, since we were not getting the shine we need, I always keep going back because I remember we were not getting the shine we need. So me, Chaga, and Larat were approached by Chizo, who's a musician from Bantu, and Chizo Kukli and all them guys. These were our friends. So Chizo is like, yo, Saba, I'm going to Bujumbura. I got a gig. Do you want to come?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna be over there, and I'm gonna be there for a few years. So if you want to come, you can join me. I literally talked to my mom. I'm like, Mom, I want to do this. My mom always listened. My father was like, nah. And I was young too. This is after the genocide was done, and Rwanda and Burundi were just getting back together, like they were getting everything together. There's a lot of story right there. So me, Chaga, Larat went to Rwanda, and in Rwanda we met another DJ who's Ugandan. I forget his name. He's a brother to Grace Nachimera. Damn, I forget his name. Yeah, he was a DJ there, so he connected us with the Rwanda hip hop, which was just starting. So we moved from Rwanda and moved into Bujumbura, and Bujumbura became a home for Bataka Underground.
What?
Yeah.
For how long?
For a long time. We left Uganda and we became famous in Bujumbura.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, we became famous in Bujumbura. And the biggest group in Bujumbura, the first rappers in Bujumbura were called Nigga Soul. So Nigga Soul started Nigga Soul, yeah. Still, yeah, Nigga Soul. So Nigga Soul didn't like us because we were from Uganda and we thought we were hot. And then me and Nigga Soul used to battle, and then we became friends. And now Nigga Soul and Bataka, we go on different stages all over with Bujumbura performing. One club in particular was called Havana. This promoter loved us so much, and he's like, you guys can be here every Saturday. So we used to come and kill it. And the biggest artist in Bujumbura between 98, 99, between 99, I think between 2001, 2002, and 2003 was Chizo, Ugandan. He was like the biggest artist, and he was singing his songs and most of other songs that are already, Chizo is that, yeah. So he, so that's when we found out that hip hop is something we want to do for life. We used to live in one house, all of us, me, Chizo, Benanzo, shouts out to Benanzo, and the guy who did Navio's sound is called Henry. So Henry, me, Henry, Benanzo, Chizo, Kenny Wanda. Kenny Wanda was big in Burundi. So we all lived in one big house, in the same crib, and that's where we're doing our music.
I want to know the story.
Yeah,
that
my first love happened in Bujumbura, and we used to rap our asses off.
You had a crazy story about Tujababia with Aaliyah.
Yeah, that comes later. That way later. So we went with Bujumbura, and we could meet people who could tell us about the genocide, and they telling us literally, we killed like 3 people. We killed. Hey, so I know the story. It's a lot. Like this guy was telling us, they were in their house, and the guys were outside. Or you could hear the pangas. Wah, 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 wah. They get ready. They all come out and battle each other up and kill each other up. And this guy survived, and he's like telling us all these stories, and we're like, what the who? What's going on here? And one day we hit it with some girls, me, Chaga, and Larat. We were hitting with some girls, and we went to some village. It was like an estate for these rich, again, plant kids, and we Ugandan and plant kids, and we get there, and we get ambushed by Burundians. Yeah. And Chaga was trying to be Ugandan. They slapped the shit out of him. Like, I remember that shit vividly. That was a harder slap. And this is at night. And these guys were holding stones, ready to stone us down. And we were saved by a Burundian who studied at Makerere University. Yeah. If he wasn't from Makerere, we were going to be beat up. He saved us. He's like, you're lucky I'm from Makerere University, but I'm Burundian. You guys need to get the fuck out of here. And we had to leave. But in Burundi, we were going on every stage in Bujumbura, and we were rapping crazy with an artist, Nigga Soul. So we came back here, did Deviate, and then went back. And then one of the rappers was called Top Dog. Was one of the rappers in Nigga Soul was Top Dog and Farias B. Right now, Farias B is the biggest artist in Bujumbura. So that was the team. Then we added Farias B because Top Dog passed away, and we added Farias B to Bataka. And if you look at the history, we brought Farias B here, and he used to rap at DV8. So when we came to DV8, back at DV8, we were harder than we were before. It was Farias B and the whole Bataka squad.
Yeah. How many were you guys in Bataka?
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
Right before our first whatever, we were like 20 people.
We were not too many, but it was a lot because we kept adding. I think Slob MC. I don't even know what happened to him. So I would say Gento used to be with us most of the time. So we were always like a gang, but the actual people were rappers, singers. But we were mostly rappers, but we were a lot of us. Yeah. NTO left for the US. Babaluku was gone as well, and he used to come back and forth. It was a lot of us, but we were hungry. And this is funny. So when we used to rap at Babaluku's house, Irene Namobido used to be in there because he's a brother to one of the guys. So they used to live close. Irene Namobido lives here, and Babaluku lives here, so we used to all team up. So Babaluku, Irene Namovidu, and NTO, they did a lot of projects together. They used to sing together. So yeah, it was a gang of us. We used to be in one house in Makindye, and it was all of us in Bujumbura in one house. So we just get in and yeah, it's
crazy.
I just don't remember the stuff, but we used to sweat our ass off just singing, rapping. Yeah, so when I come back, and that's when go back now to Tujababia. Yeah, Tujababia. I was doing a video for Tujababia years later in Chisenyi. I was the first guy to do a video in Chisenyi before anybody, because every other artist, they used to do video at Sheraton and they look for those posh places. So with me, I chose to do my video in Chisenyi, and I talked to Latif. Latif was the one who designed the clothes. If you've Latif is supposed to be engraved in hip hop. I talked to Latif and I'm like, Latif, you need to be part of this.
What up, Latif?
So all the clothes I was wearing and everybody else, that was Latif. He dressed up everybody. And yeah, and then my boy that I told you from the US, Brett, he said he would do the video, and I came up with the concept. I came up with the whole concept how I wanted the video to be. So we watched the video. We in the ghetto and we doing our thing and and we're running from the police. It's so funny. I was already doing that. Like I knew what was going to happen after that. So while I'm doing that, we're recording, and I meet they tell us about a child that has been dumped at a dumpster at those big trash cans, the green ones. There was a child that was 2 weeks that was picked. And I go see the kid, and the kid looks like he was next to the trash can and very dirty and stuff. The mother left the kid right there. And I must have had like about 100,000 shillings that was supposed to be for the video. I'm supposed to pay the people in the area. And I ended up giving that money to whoever can take care of that child, for male can clean up the kid. Then after we did the video, I came back, I kept checking on the kid, and that's the kid that became my daughter, who's now 19, named Aliyah. So when I told my mom that this kid has no home, my mom was like, did you make somebody pregnant? I'm like, no, Mom, I did not. But this child, has nowhere to go. So the lady, rest in peace, she's called Chandilu, the lady that picked that kid. So we used to share. So the lady that picked the child used to sell chapati, and she makes like about 5,000 shillings and gonja. So she's the one who picked the child. So I used to go to her, and I get Aliyah and I take her uptown in Najanankumbi. And yeah, we did that for a while in Makindye as well. So while the kid was growing, I was growing fond of this child. So I think after when the kid was like 3 years, I asked the lady, can I just take the child with me? And I talked to my mother. My mother was fine, and Aliyah became my daughter at a young age, and I raised this child to 19 years. Now she's 19 right now. So where I hate ClearCut, fuck those guys, Is ClearCut here? I don't know if they're here, but yeah. So what happens is, so now we're really doing it. We're really killing it out there. Bataka's killing it. We're still not getting radio play. MTV comes to Uganda, and MTV notices that we're doing a good job. And then there's these guys from uptown who think we thought you guys were leaving. You were coming back in limousine or something. You kids, you were drinking sodas and stuff. For us, we were drinking water. Sometimes we could come to Deviate and we don't even drink anything because we remember from Najana Kumbi, I used to have like at least 2,000 shillings in my pocket just to come to DVA. Like we used to come with very little money, and you guys are buying sodas and you're buying for all the girls. And they used to bring Samba Zungus too. You remember? You guys used to come with so that's why you guys were from uptown. They used to come with white kids who were like, and everybody's like, those are from international schools. Like these kids. So that's where I'm like, we're doing our thing. Who are these kids? Clear cut, like, and you're like, yeah. You're like, yeah. I'm like, Navi, wherever you are, mother sucker. I used to be like, damn. These kids, dressed up in those good clothes, I don't. I'm telling you.
Shopping in the same place.
I know, but you guys look like you're from uptown. Coming with all these, you always had these exotic kids with you. Exotic. You had these planned exotic kids with you. They were always like exotic, and then Papito is speaking in French. It was a lot of. It was. it was a lot of stuff going on. So it was weird. So yeah. Then you guys come, you're rapping in English, doing all these things. Yeah, so we didn't have like beef, but we were just like these guys, plant kids. So that's what happened. So while I was in Chisenyi, when MTV came to Uganda, and MTV was trying to discover hip hop, they met Juliana, I think. They met the Julianas, then they met you guys, and they taped you guys. You guys said you were taping and thinking Sheraton. You guys must have taped in again. Plant kids doing in posh places. Nabi is gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me. So he must have recorded in you guys were doing your interview in exotic places as usual. And for me, I told the guys, if you want to see me, I was trying to make a statement, I told MTV, if you want to see me, come to Chisenyi. And you remember that guy with the locks? He had like one big lock. I don't know if you remember that. Yes. He was the one in charge of everything. He's like, man, Timothy. I think it's Timothy. Yeah. So I waited for them. It took a while, and I told my Chisenyi people, they are coming. And then I was with my daughter. She must have been like a year old. Yeah. So MTV got all that footage of me with my daughter at 1 year old, and I told them about the story about her, and they recorded us. I even have some pictures. And they recorded us and stuff, and it was a very beautiful interview. And I'm thinking I'm going to get my first shine. So MTV best. And my cable I have to watch from someone's window because we did not have cable. These guys had cable. These guys had MTV. For us, to me watching MTV, I had to walk from Najanankombi to Kabowa. There was these plant kids. They know who they are. They used to give us a chance to see MTV. So if I want to see MTV, I have to walk from Najanankombi to Kabowa. It's like an hour to 2 hour walk to 3 hour walk. And if I missed an episode of the Rap City, I had my friend who used to record that episode for me in Endeavor and gives me that stuff, and I go back and listen to that shit. Yeah, I was really engraved in that stuff. So I used to go and see. So I told all my friends we're going to be on MTV. Man, I watched this shit, and guess what they're showing? Clear cut. And my friends are like, Saba, where are you? I thought you were. I'm like, I don't know, but I swear they recorded me. And everybody's like, Saba, where are you?
I think you guys were like on episode 2 or something.
Get the hell out of here, man. I don't know. We just have bad luck. We just have bad luck, guys. We just have bad luck. In Munai,
that's crazy.
We didn't get that recording, I'm like, damn, what kind of cast does Bataka have that we don't even get the shine?
That's crazy.
So...
Not your underground? No.
We were underground. No, we were underground, yes. But we thought underground would come on the surface.
That's crazy.
And that happened, and I was so biased. I was like, damn.
Do you have that footage, or they never even gave it to you?
I think we asked for the footage, they never gave it to us. He did say he would send it, and somehow I lost track of it. So I kept going to Chisenyi. Now Chisenyi was becoming my writing hub. Yeah. Because every time I was among these kids, they were always doing something. Yeah. And so Chisenyi became like my new area where I always want to be, and just seeing everything going on and stuff. So one day we're chilling in Chisenyi. I was actually sitting on top of a roof. And the guy shouts, he's like, Wansiwa Guru. So the police were coming to get people because they used to smoke a lot of marijuana and doing a lot of drugs within the same area. And not me, but everybody was. So the police came through. They used to do those raids every once in a while where they go through the place. And that time there was a lot of killings. There's some guy who was a thief, and they shot him. That's also another story. So they came and raided the area. I think police might have come through, and we were chased around and stuff. And I was lucky enough. I don't know if I had an ID. I don't know how I got away. Yeah, I don't know.
Because they were looking. I believe it was ID stuff.
It must have been ID. So they were looking for people, and they were just touching anyone. So when they caught me, they could tell I'm from Uptown. So
how does this guy? This is from being Uptown, but he gets saved because he's from Uptown.
I don't know. I somehow guess, but I'm not really. You guys from exotic town. You guys from exotic town. For us, we're uptown, but on a low key level. So that happens, and
so that inspires Wansiwa.
That inspires Wansiwa Gulu, because the kid said, Bali Wansiwa Gulu, that they're all over. Wansiwa Gulu means they're all over the whole place. Yeah, so I'm just there. I'm like, damn. So I go home because I was really scared. And the thing that comes to my head once, your police, Muduke, Muduke. Because I was watching everybody running from all sides. Everybody was like, Muduke, Muduke, Muduke. So that's what inspires Wansiwa Gulu. And there's this group called The Shrine. There's a group called The Shrine. They came from, I think, Germany.
Yeah.
And they come into Uganda and they're trying to find hip hop. We recorded stuff with them.
Yeah.
We recorded projects with them, and they say they're going to take it to Germany and they're going to make something out of us and stuff and make us big. I don't know what happened to that project. That one went. Then another, while I'm doing the hip hop nights at Sabrina's, that's a whole movie. A group comes in from Belgium because they've heard about the hip hop nights and there's a hip hop group, but they want to blow up in Uganda. So that's how I meet DJ Glue, and that's how Wansiwa Glue comes about. So when I thought of the song, I had it in my head for a while, and then DJ Glue comes, they meet Sylvester Abrams. Shouts out to Sylvester Abrams,
100%.
and shouts out to Sn2.
100%. She was here the other day.
So she's one of the first female rappers. Shouts out to MC Yala.
Yo, she's
Um,
on tour.
Yeah, she's on tour forever, and that's another story. That's another story for another time. So that story won't be told. And so we go from there to Indigenous. So DJ Glue, who comes from a group called Indigenous. So Indigenous come with all those tools, the laptops. We never owned laptops then, and they're like, we want to record a song with you. So I did Wansiwa Gulu, the original. I don't know if you've listened to the remix.
Which one is on the video?
On the video is the original.
Okay, so that's the one I know.
So I did Wansiwa Gulu, the original, and then I did Wansiwa Gulu, the remix with the indigenous rappers.
Okay, no.
With all those rappers. And that one is bad.
Yeah.
So I did 2 versions of Wansiwa Gulu.
Yeah.
By the time I was doing Wansiwa Gulu, I was already like moving. I had formed the Uganda Hip-hop Foundation. We had the Hip-Hop Summit. We were doing a lot of things, and how the Hip-Hop Summit worked for me, because since hip-hop was not popular in Uganda, I had to find ways of how do we make hip-hop be popular at the same time, how do we make sure that we have a platform for hip-hop. So that's when I talked to Alliance Francaise, and I'm like, hey, I got this thing going on, you should come and check it. So they came to the hip-hop nights, and they loved it. So they're like, what do you have? I'm like, we had a whole proposal of things we're going to do, and we asked them if we can do this once a year where we have the Hip Hop Summit in Uganda, and we want it to be funded by you guys. So Alliance Francaise, shouts out to Alliance Francaise.
100%.
Alliance Francaise funded the Hip Hop Summit every year for us.
Dope.
So Alliance Francaise, they did a lot for hip hop too, because if it wasn't them, we wouldn't have been able to have this platform. So
yeah, I keep saying that. I did the World Music Day with them just the other day.
And it's not, and the person
they gave us platforms
from way back. So the person that we should be thanking is DJ Didier. Didier was one of the guys, and me and Didier were really close. I used to go for dinners at his house. Anything I said, Didier did. And I'm like, hey Didier, there's this project I'm doing. So now we getting platforms as hip hop, but we're getting it from Alliance Francaise, British Commission. British Commission did a little bit. The German embassy came in a few.
Because British Commission had WAPI.
Yeah, they had WAPI, but WAPI came way later. That came way later. But they still used to try and do a little. But the people that really pushed the envelope was Alliance. So Alliance helped us push every yearly event for the Hip Hop Summit, where we had every rapper. We had everybody from Chameleon, Baby Cool, everybody. We had the hardest platform for 4 years in the city, and on a Tuesday we could get over 400 to 500 people.
That's crazy.
And that's P-Tech, shouts to P-Tech and Francis. They had we never had social media, so we used to get our phone and get everybody's phone number, and even friends that we don't know, and we just send one message, doop, and everybody gets the message for Tuesday night. So people used to wonder how we do it. It was just the phone. It was still technology, but it was a different kind of technology where you just put in all numbers. So we had people that do it every day. They're just putting numbers in, and then you just send
messages.
Yeah, and we were using these phones.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I used to go to Club Silk as well and perform there too. They used to have competitions. So they tried to do a competition, a musical competition, and I was fighting against Shanks VVD. And Lyrical G was on there. A lot of people from dancehall to everything, and we were all trying to see who is the best artist to be Mr. Silk. And I won the first. Silk. Yeah, I won the first Mr. Silk. Yeah, I beat everybody, including Shanks VVD as well. Yeah, Shanks VVD did it too, and I beat everybody, and they gave me the first. I got the first phone, which is that too loud? I don't know. The 6.2. I got the 6.2. Is the 6.28? I got the first 6.28 Ericsson phone. So if you remember that time, I was one of the first guys to win Mr. Silk at Silk. Yeah. First, I won the first phone, and that's way back again. I think even either before DV8 or between DV8. I won the first Ericsson phone, and I didn't have anybody to call on the phone. Like, because nobody owned a mobile phone. I was one of the first guys to get a mobile phone. And then the owner of Silk then, it was Elvis, and then there was the other big guy, short guy, I forget his name. They wanted to buy the phone for me, because they're like, what are you going to use the phone?
Who are you calling?
And my father tells me, who are you going to call? We don't have anybody to call. Just sell the phone. So I literally sold the phone, I think, for like, it must have been like 300,000 K.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I won that. The next one, I think, must have been won by Lyrical G.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were hard. We were hard then, yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. Now, you touched on it earlier, but I want to get back to it. Like, hip-hop in Uganda and the platforms. The platforms that the artist, the genre has or doesn't have, but also media, media helping Ugandan music get out there.
With the
what do you think we should do? What do you think?
Before I even go there, with the foundation, and one thing that really, I'm like, really? Why would you do that? When we started the Hip Hop Summit, we were the only conglomerate, how do you call it? Conglomerate that was handling everybody. We had an umbrella for us that represented us. Yeah. So if you wanted to meet any hip hop artist, you had to call us, and you're gonna meet everybody because we could get you to everybody. Rest in peace to Lumix. R.I.P. Lumix. Amazing brother. I saw him when he came. The first time he came, he asked me the first time, and I didn't believe him. He said, "Amara, you need to give me a chance." And I think I didn't give him the first Tuesday because I think it was so packed. Then he came back the next Tuesday. This brother killed it. Yeah. So that's a brother I respect a lot. He brought a lot to the hip hop nights as well. Every time he came through, it was gonna be murder. You can ask these artists; they know who they are. Everybody knows everybody who was there. But we had a lot of rappers came out of the hip hop nights, but you never hear it mentioned. And then while we're having all that, we have the hip hop nights and we have the hip hop summit. Shadrach comes to us, and we meet in a meeting. Me, Shadrach, Sn2, Jeff Ikope, they can remind you all this, and we talk about doing something for rappers where they want to do an album and stuff. And somehow we talk about the whole thing, and somehow I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, the project is done and we're not even mentioned. And I'm not part of that history, but I saw y'all, and Shadrach, you better talk about this stuff, man. I'm like, so these are things that make me a little bit like, really? You came to the hip hop night because you needed there was no way you're gonna get all these artists. You came and we gave you everything you need, man. That's my brother though. But I'm saying, man, I'm just saying. And again, we go back to not getting that. It's a lot, man. You put in a lot, and you still, and he's never mentioned nothing. He's never said anything. Yeah. But we sat in that meeting. It must have been at Sheraton Hotel. It must have been.
Oh, so wait a minute. So you were having meetings at Sheraton?
No. But it was Shadrach. He must have been an Uptown brother because he was doing tattoos. Then he had some money. It must have been Sheraton, and not me. And hey man, shouts out to Shadrach. He's also part of motivating the whole hip hop scene. Yeah. So we talked about the canvas before it became the canvas, and somehow something creative difference happened there, and the Hip-Hop Foundation was out of it.
Yeah.
And Shadrach just went ahead and did it. It was his thing, but you helped
the
artists, because the artists were coming from the hip hop nights. You had to come and meet everybody, and that's how we connected. And me, Shadrach, him, what's his name? Dennis.
Dennis from No End. That's what you were saying. Him D.
Not him D. Dennis.
Dennis, the producer who worked at No End.
I don't know if he worked at No End. Dennis was that was a hustler.
The producer, right?
No, he wasn't a producer. Damn, he did a lot of things. I don't know where Dennis is. And we connected, we all met, and that shit changed. The next thing I know, there's a project, and this is all they got. So that's why you don't see me on that project, because maybe I'm like, I don't want to get involved if you know.
If we started it.
No, they started their thing, but most of the artists got more, because we already had the foundation, but he would have said something, and then we were out of it, and we didn't want a part of it. So yeah. So I'm like, hey, Lyrical, Saba Lyrical's like, Saba, you want to be? I'm like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm good. You guys can go and rock. So that's why I'm not on that project. And then we did the last summit. There's a lot between the summit, and other artists can tell you about those. And you guys used to come and perform.
Yeah, I came to like maybe, because also at that time I really wasn't just here. So when I'd be on holiday, I'd come and and I would be here for like a month or whatever. But I remember I must have done like 3. Yeah, I must have done like 3.
You must have done like 3,
yeah. I performed at 3. One of them you battled me. You chose to, I don't know why.
Yeah, because you were looking hot. You thought you was hot.
I smoked you.
Did you smoke me?
I smoked
Get that tape back. Get that tape. Rewind that tape.
It's you who has the tape.
Rewind.
I smoked you.
By the way, the person who has those tapes will be MMC. MMC used to record everything. I don't know if he has everything, but he used to record.
Yeah.
We were really organized. We were really organized. So when you talk about that, when you say the organized, we were trying to get. We were looking at a higher picture. We wanted to get journalists. We wanted to get hip hop journalists, because we were getting back.
I remember I met a lot of journalists from there. I met Lulu, who was
they used to come. Yeah, we used to get a lot of people come through. I was looking at a bigger picture for the Ugandan Hip-Hop Foundation. I still have those pages. Like, we had a lot of shit that we wanted to do. Yeah. We wanted to be our own entity, and I wish that stayed the way it is. Yeah. And I think while we were performing while we were doing that, United Nations came through, and they were doing a project that they wanted rappers. And somehow they asked who runs the Hip-Hop Summit. And I said, it's me. So that's how my journey started of me traveling out of Uganda. Before I did Kenya, but that was nothing. But I started traveling out of Uganda because of United Nations. So that's
the current work you're doing?
No, that was then.
That was then, okay.
It was called the United Nations Inhabitants. So they came to us and they said, is it okay if you represent Uganda in the African Hip Hop Summit? Because when they Googled, they could find Uganda Hip Hop Summit, but there was no any other summit.
Yes.
So before that, Alliance Française coordinated with Alliance Française in Tanzania. They're like, can you go and be a liaison for the first hip hop summit in Tanzania? Yeah. So then I went to Tanzania to make the first hip hop summit over there with Sugi, Mr. 2, Dooley Sykes, and AY, and all of them artists. And I was part of creating their first one. And I think they did one, they never did it again. So I went with Sn2, and Sn2 did the graffiti. That's a different, did the graffiti for Tanzania. It was me and Sn2 representing Uganda and helping them finish their hip-hop summit and stuff. And it was funded by Alliance Française. And we were there for a while. We did a lot of projects down there, met a lot of rappers and stuff. And can we pause a little bit?
Yes, the impact of, like, how important to you. And you've moved around and experienced.
So I was getting to that. Go ahead.
Media to this journey that we're trying to.
So this is where the media. This is when it's important, because when United Nations came, they took us to South Africa, where they were doing the hip hop summit, and I was on stage with Tikazi, Pro Kid, Proverb, Tumi the Volume.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, Tumi Volume reminds me of you. Yeah, he's very lyrical.
Big niggas who rap.
Big niggas who rap, you know. So it was me, Tumi the Volume, Awadi, Proverb, Tikezi, Kanan. We were all like one entity, and we moved around together. Yeah. And by then, Kanan was handled by the manager called Saul. It was called Saul. So right now he's in the U.S. So we went to South Africa, and I was representing Uganda, and that was the first time I was on a stage that's not a Ugandan stage. Mm-hmm. So it was and I remember the artist that went on before me was I think it must have been Pro Kid, or it must have been Pro Kid, yeah. And I was scared to get on that stage. Yeah, and we performed in Soweto, and then we went on a big stage, which is the place is called Bestline in Johannesburg, and oh my God! And then we did the stadium with Tikezi, and when those guys came on, this is when I'm understanding hip hop more. I'm like, damn, I can use this to cross over. So when we performed at Bestline, I made people sing Wansiwagulu and Tujababia. So this is the first time I'm singing something people don't understand, and I'm like, Wansiwagulu Chachiriya Police, and the crowd says Muduke, Muduke. So it's the first time I'm interacting with the crowd, and there's a lady called Tara Hanley. She's from Canada. She came to document the African Hip Hop Summit for United Nations. So she sees me and writes about me in the Canadian papers. So when she writes about me in the Canadian papers, some guy sees the Canadian papers and online in the US. So this is how media comes in. And the people that see me in the US, this is Trinity College. So they write me an email and they ask me if I can come to America to do the same thing. So while I was in South Africa, me and Kanan were always together. Me and Didi Awadi were like always together. They put all the rappers in Africa all together, and they paid all of us, and they made us tour all over. That's crazy. Yeah, so that's the best. I think it's one of my best moments for hip hop that I've ever experienced. Yeah.
And you still didn't release a solo album.
We released as Bataka. We did, and I did release a lot of songs, but I didn't really. It's just a Cup of Coffee album that never, because that was my main thesis.
Where does that concept come from? A cup of coffee with Idi Amin. That's one of the hardest album titles ever.
Yeah, it is, and
it's one of the hardest.
I even have the painting already. I was supposed to do an exhibition just for Cup of Coffee with Idi Amin, and I'm supposed to do a play with Cup of Idi, even documentary. So I have things that were in the pipeline. So, but because of the travels and everything, I didn't do. But the concept comes from my childhood and just understanding. And me and Jeffa are really close. You know Jeffa? They used to call him T-Rex.
No.
This is Idi Amin's son.
Oh wow.
You know the one in Busabala video. Who's the father running? That's Jeffa.
Oh wow.
So Jeffa used to be a rapper. So we met.
Oh wow.
He used to be a rapper. We met at MMC's studio because he used to come there and do some rapping and stuff. Before then I understand, I'm like, oh, yo, Idi Amin's son, man, we need to talk. So me and him used to talk a lot. So that happened, and and then I moved to the US through again United Nations, and I was lucky enough to perform at Trinity College, and I meet my idols. That was Freddie Fab Freddy. I met Freddie Five Freddy, and he loved what I do. So I was in South Africa. We did what we did, and people loved it. And people are coming to me like, yo, that's cool. Tumi's like, yo, and Kanan is like, yeah, that was some hot shit. And then my transformation keeps going. Come back to Uganda, 2004, 2005, and the Hip Hop Summit was still going on. So I just got all these things going on. They're like, you want to go to the US and do this? So I tell Sensor, man,
you gotta go.
I gotta go. I leave it with you guys. We need to still push the brand. So we end up in I end up in the US, and that's a whole journey because they did a documentary about it. You can always see the documentary on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon. It's called Diamonds in the Rough. So it talks about my journey.
I have Diamonds in the Rough, but go on.
Yeah, you do?
I have.
Have you seen it?
I have it.
No, you're lying.
I swear
I need to see it. So okay.
I swear down,
so you might be having a different version.
I have, well, whichever version is on DVD, I have.
So the Bataka journey is all documented on Diamonds in the Rough, the documentary.
And you know, you guys, so here's where our beef with you guys was.
Where does it come?
Clear cut is a diamond that's from the rough. It's clear cut.
Where? From Uptown? Hey.
A diamond.
Hey. From where?
A diamond. You get a diamond.
A clear cut diamond. But from uptown.
Diamond out of the rough.
From uptown.
Which diamond?
The diamond was from uptown. From up here. Now you should be here.
No,
we talk about uptown. Burubaga boys.
And then you called it your damn documentary. And then now you're mad at us.
I did name it.
You, of course you did.
I did not name it. I did not name it. So,
of course you guys did.
so that's documented and that's out there. So
That's
people can.
that's stolen.
That's me, Babaluku, and you guys are in there too. You guys are on the documentary. Shouts out to Sylvester and Abrams. They're in the documentary too. And because he did Abrams and Sylvester, he did me, he did you guys, and yeah, and that journey goes, and then we become this big entity. I become this big entity, me and Babaluku in America. So this is when we're introduced to a different kind of world, and that's how we had already recorded the Bataka Revolution. We had recorded some songs at KG's place, GK's place, and then we finished the rest of the songs in Inglewood, in the States, and with another artist called Sheila, who's part of the album. I don't know if you've listened to the album, Bataka Revolution.
No, that one I haven't.
You haven't?
You guys were dissing us a lot.
I know. Oh, you need to go listen now. Oh, they're dissing you in there.
You guys are
For me, I was keeping quiet.
You guys were taking shots. It's like,
oh, Babaluku was just being hip hop. He was being because hip hop is about battle. So
you guys decided to battle.
He decided to go for everybody, but that's what hip hop stands for. So he went for everybody, and so that happened. And Bataka was that's the time when we went out of the US, and we ended up recording with an artist called One Love. Yeah. We did a lot of songs from Ghana. So me and One Love used to walk around together every day. Yeah. And me and One Love used to go to what the project they call Project Blow. Yeah. Project Blow was hip hop, like the way you see DV8 or Sabrina. So in Los Angeles, their biggest spot was Project Blow. So Project Blow, you got people like Cool Kids. You know Cool Kids? Those are from Los Angeles. You got people like Kendrick Lamar. All those people came from Project Blow. So I'm happy to have been part of Project. If you go and type Project Blow, you'll see how many artists came out of Project Blow. That was in Inglewood, California. So that's why I used to go, and One Love was just killing it. And I just saw a new video that they just sent me, and it was me, Rocky Duwani, who's nominated right now for a Grammy. He's been nominated several times. Like, I get all these things because I don't remember them, but we did a lot of stuff in Los Angeles, and then my journey started that went into from music to the film world. Yeah, because I started.
That's crazy. Even talking to Viboyo now, he's putting together an album, but he's very interested in film and storytelling and that type of energy.
Yeah, I've always been a storyteller. So if you listen to my music, I'm always telling a story. Yeah. So when you see Tujababia, you see me telling stories on how I want it to be shot or how we want to do it. I'm like, we're gonna do it like this. That's all like my direction and Brett, me and Brett. Yeah.
The video you released about Jamal.
Yeah.
That video.
Oh, now that's all directed by me, and like that's like one of my first projects that I did.
That's an incredible video.
Oh, thank you.
I love that. I think I told you.
Thank you.
Love that video.
Yeah.
I was still on TV. I still had the TV show when you released that. So it was like every day I was playing it, and guys were like, "Yo, bud man, are they paying you?" I'm like, that's it's funny. Just a dope. Like we have to support this dopeness.
Yeah. So what happens with the music? I come from a hip hop generation. So I love hip hop to the bone. I could rap 24 bars on a verse. Yeah. So now you get in America, they don't understand what you're saying. Yeah. But you're rapping 24 bars with no chorus. Yeah. You know, you're looking at the crowd, they love it, but now they're like,
yo, that's a lot of raps.
When is it? When is he stopping? So I had to learn how to
write songs.
Then I went from 16 bars to 8 bars, then the hook. Yeah. Then that's how I learned, because I've always been a hook king. Yeah. So my hook pen became even bigger. Yeah, so I started just doing hooks that can catch the crowd even if they don't understand. I still want to do Uganda because I'm representing my country. Yeah. So I had to find a way. So that's when my music now changes from being only a hip hop artist to being a musicianship. A musicianship. So that's when I started incorporating live music. I don't know if you've watched my live performances. Yeah, just look for the African Channel TV. I was one of the biggest artists on that channel. It's an African Channel TV in Los Angeles, and I was doing live performances. I joined a group. What's the name of the group? Checkpoint Charlie. It was a punk group, and I was doing hip hop punk in Uganda with that group. Then I joined another group, and I was doing hip hop rock with another band. So I started fusing music. So this is when my music started growing. Then from there, I started writing differently.
Yeah, because even that song for Mom is like.
So I did.
It's like a world. It's not a hip hop song.
No, it's not a hip hop song. No.
That's for sure.
Then I started writing world music. So with the hip hop song, I did an EP. When my mom passed, my writing pen changed. Yeah. I started getting emotional with my music, and I started writing. I wrote a lot of sad songs. So just for my mom, I have a whole EP. So that's the only song that I released. But I have like 6 songs just for my mom. Yeah. Just for my mom and missing her and everything. So that's a song I released. But I just don't want to put all of them out. But I have a lot of songs about that. I started writing more of what I feel. Then I started getting more musicianship in the music, and I think
it's like the older we get, because like even all this lyrical spirit, whatever stuff, it's like it's great. Yeah. But then like, okay, but what's there?
Yeah. So when you look at the transformation of Navio too, he was like, and now Navio's like. He's becoming more mature, and it's more appealing. So we don't need to go hard anymore. You can still put melodies to your music, and you still change lives, and people listen to that. And I love Navio right now. Like he's the hardest artist we have in Uganda right now when it comes to. And I was happy with the 20 years of Navio. And he really showed his growth from the beginning to where, though he didn't do clear cut. He didn't.
How crazy was it that the second song he does is
I was about to say, which people don't know. Do people know about that? So I was watching it and I'm like, I was part of this shit.
You should have put up and talked your shit.
I know, I'm like, that's me. Yeah. And we've never talked about it.
That's crazy. And I was actually gonna ask you. I'm like, did I take out my voice or what? But no, because you talked at the end. But then remember it's banned.
Damn. Yeah.
It was with band.
That's funny. Yeah. So. And it's one of my favorites. I know, and it's one of my favorite songs actually from him. That one, and me and Navio were trying to do a song. He will tell you what it's called. Yeah. Bible. It's Barua. We're trying to do. He knows the chorus how it goes. So we're trying to do that, and it just didn't happen that we didn't do it. And when he was doing that, I think Navi was trying to give me a verse on that, but I was leaving the next day.
Yes, on Nekole Jangi.
On Nekole Jangi. I was leaving the next day. I'm like, man.
I think that's why they even added me at the end to talk shit. Yeah. Because it's like, hey, this guy's just left this song.
Yeah, open and everything.
This chaos at the end. So I was like, all right. But also same thing. Like, I recorded and left.
Thank you to Navio. I know you tried to put me on that, but I did not. And we're gonna make that happen. It's good you brought that up. So that happened. And any other questions you got?
No, that's it, man. I'm satisfied. Is there any? What would you tell? Like, so a lot of the conversation with the younger guys now is, hey, we don't get support from media, but even from artists. They feel like, hey, like a Mith should put us on, or such and such should put them on, and I don't know. Is there what would you tell the younger guys?
Just if you've been listening, I think if you've been listening, I'm talking about all my struggles because it's very important that I say that. Yeah. We didn't get platform on anything. There's way more platforms right now. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have all this, but we didn't have nothing. We didn't have Facebook, nothing. Yeah. But we still spread across and beyond. Yeah. So what I tell people is just put in more time in what you're doing and just keep going. Don't give up. I never give up. However sad it gets, I never give up on what I did. And we found avenues of how do we keep going, because hip hop is not only just hip. It's a lifestyle. We live this. And right now I don't know if it's the same thing in Uganda or it's different because I was at the Shiba show and these I don't know reggae artists or whatever. Everybody had like 10 bouncers walking around with them. I'm like, damn, things have changed. But it's ridiculous. I was like, what is this? And they were like, Vio. I'm like, you guys ain't made nothing. You guys, if you're not getting none of those streaming money, if you're not getting none of the licensing money, I don't know. There's certain places we need to be comfortable that we Uganda we're very rich musically. There's a lot of good music here. We can be as big as Nigeria, but I'm happy about what's happening with Uma. That's a good talk, though it needs to be better. But we just need to find a margin where we can just grasp us and find a way of being one. Yeah. And then we can transform. But we're going too far ahead of ourselves, like we already made it before we even make it. Because if you're not making certain kind of money,
with 10 bouncers.
Yeah, with 10 bouncers, I'm like, damn, I hope you're paying those guys. Like, literally, and everybody had a bouncer. Like, all of them. They were like walking side. I was backstage. It was crazy. I was like, but I was enjoying it. It was pretty beautiful. But all I can tell the artists is we need to, you need to do a lot. Yeah. I wear me everywhere. I be wearing Bataka. I be Tujababi. I be like spreading it everywhere. But again, musically, we need to write better. Yeah. We need to listen. We need to respect. We need to give flowers. Yeah. Produce more. You need to add more to your craft. I remember we used to go on a mountain. Christopher with us. And damn, there's a lot of names. We used to go on a mountain somewhere in that place where there's Nambole Stadium. And we used to just go to make these voices better.
Oh, I thought to pray to the gods.
No. We used to go there and start shouting, trying to make your voice. So there's a lot of ways we can do it. But if you ask me about Uganda music right now, we're the best place. It's way better than it was. And there's way more avenues.
Avenues. That's what I keep telling guys. I'm like,
there's way more avenues. You can start your own podcast. You can start your own. You can have your own hip hop magazine. You can be a hip hop journalist and come and look for Mith, Saba Saba, and be like, I'm writing the history of hip hop. Yeah. You can become the movie director. You can be a lot of things. Yeah. So with me, I came from hip hop. Now I'm into the film. I'm into the film industry, and that's a story for another day again.
I need to send you the film that we're doing on Ugandan hip hop.
Yeah, I would love to see it. So
like help us with. I think we have a solid story. Yeah. We have a solid story, but like I feel like maybe from an editing
perspective, that's all right. Yeah. So when I joined the film industry, I've done a lot in the film industry.
Was it the new edition of the Bobby Brown?
I did the Bobby Brown. Yeah. I did the new edition. Yeah. I've done which other hip hop? I've done Grownish, Blackish. I just finished Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah. And I've done a lot. Like
Beverly Hills Cop or Beverly Hills?
Beverly Hills Cop. I just did that.
They're redoing it?
The new one is coming out with Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm not supposed to say it, but I hope they don't see it. But we recorded that last year. Yeah. So we recorded that last year with Beverly Hills, and I just did Rebel Moon, which you're going to see on Netflix. That's going to be that's going to be crazy. It's like Star Wars and everything. So I've been doing a lot of projects, but I'm more of a student. Yeah. I studied film. I went to film school. Yeah. And I studied audio engineering. So I'm an audio engineer. And I joined the Grammy voters, I think, some years back. But I stopped paying my dues. So I just have to start doing that again because you pay a monthly fee and you'll be able to vote. Yeah. So you can.
Can you pay? I'm trying to send my album inside next year.
Hey, I can tell you who's on board.
I know who's on board. I know who's on board, but
because it's funny how it works. Yeah. Because when you have all these Muzungus and a few people in there, so if you don't market your thing inside, because those are the people that are going to vote, so you have to be like, hey, this album, these ones are the ones out, and those people that are in the voters members. Yeah. They are the ones that because they don't know about African music.
So you have to give it to them directly.
You have to you're not allowed, but you can be like, oh, there's this African artist, there's this artist, then you can give the albums in, and that's how you get a nomination. But with Chris Brown and all that is already popular. And the other thing again about that, I think you just have to have like 5 publications in the papers, and have like 2 interviews. I'm giving you the germs of how to do it. You're just 3 interviews
You
and
had it fast.
be in the papers. Make sure you're in the newspapers and you have like 3 interviews within the US.
All you people
And
who are
these are all the things you use.
You
Yeah.
had it
No,
fast.
Kenzo has done his job.
Kenzo's done his job.
Kenzo has done his job.
Yeah.
He's the first artist that has represented us globally. And when he came to the US, he killed.
Yeah.
He killed. And when Afrobeat started, Kenzo can be counted among the Afrobeat giants because he was in that monopoly and everything when the Wizkid and everybody, he was one of those artists that actually blew up. So yeah, Kenzo has done his job. So we need to give him his flowers.
Fire.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining us on the pod, brother.
Hey man.
Appreciate you. It's an even day.
It's an even day. I can't say everything, you know. And it's sorry guys, I couldn't talk about Bataka because it was just about Saba Saba today.
Yeah, it's about Saba Saba.
It's about Saba Saba. Bataka you can
it's
look
about
at that.
time. It's about
You
time.
can go and
It's
talk about
Saba
you can see the documentary Diamonds in the Rough.
Diamonds in the Rough, which was like clear cut.
Yeah.
Diamonds in the Rough.
And Saba Saba music, that's me on Instagram if you want to follow me. I only have like 3 people on there, so guys.
Yeah, 3,000.
Uh,
Now, peace and love, So UG Podcast. We're out of here.
Peace out. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
So UG, are you from UG?